when he wore the danger on his
on the
road sign.
Nugget.
But yeah, so we'll kind of preface it with that. So he had just started a new gimmick where he was kind of a superhero.
Well, they were saying on the documentary last night that he had they didn't know what to do with him anymore because he was just there and they were just trying to figure out what to do with Owen Hart. So they're like, as a spoof, they said, hey, put him back under mask and, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they did with him.
Yeah.
But
because they were like, he's one of the best guys we have, but we don't know.
And
superb
wrestler.
Oh,
and great on the mic. Good on the mic because he was like an annoying kind of heel. Well, he was kind of annoying kind of heel guy, and then the Blue Blazer thing is funny.
Because he was by himself because his brother left WCW, so he was all by himself. He had nobody that his family was there with him. So, I guess my recollection of that night was, I don't know about you, Steve, but so he's fighting the Godfather, and to me that was the biggest match of the night because finally, can I say hose?
Yeah,
I can say hose. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you're all right.
I didn't know.
You said it twice.
It's internet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can.
Don't be like Howard Stern.
Well, I can't go Howard Stern on it, but take your top off, Gary. No, don't do that. Yeah. But so anyway, my recollection is the Godfather's going to come out. He's going to bring 7 of the hoes. Ladies, there we go. I'll say ladies. 7 of the ladies.
No, it's hoes.
They're hoes. Okay, they're hoes.
The attitude
They were
there.
Steve, right? Am I okay with that, Steve? You good? Hoes?
Yeah, I mean, you've said it 5 times already, so I'm trying to censor yourself now.
So my recollection is that the lights are dimmed, and we're all watching the vignette on the Titantron, which is where they come out the entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this is where we're all watching. And I just remember out of the corner of my left eye just seeing something go, poof. And next thing you know, you hear people laughing. People were laughing because we didn't know what it was. And all of a sudden the lights come on and people run to the ring. Well, you see them a million times on wrestling, oh, here comes the stretcher. Like, okay, And I just remember people are laughing. No one knows what's going on. And it's taken a while now, It's going on for like 3-4 minutes, Steve, And you're just waiting. Okay. Where's the Godfather at? That's all I care about, the Godfather. Mm-hmm. They put Owen Hart.
And more people are coming out.
Yeah. People. And then here comes some real paramedics.
More people. Yeah.
And next thing you know, for me, is they put him on a stretcher. They're wheeling him out, and that's it. And I'm like, where's the Godfather? And then they start the next match, and I'm mad. And people are mad.
Yeah. You guys don't know what's going on.
I have no clue.
Nah. See, I remember it similar to the way but I remember seeing something fall, and I remember as he fell, I remember like his body shaking, and then it just going like completely limp, and I was like, how'd they get that robot to do that or whatever? Like, I don't know, like 16, 17, you don't think some human being fell from the top of Kemper Arena and like hit his head on the turnbuckle and completely died or something like that. But like Marcus said, everybody started laughing. We thought it was a gag. And then the next match, like after, I don't know, what felt like hours, like the next match starts. And I don't even remember the next match. The next match that I remember is Stone Cold and The Undertaker. That's the last thing I remember after Owen Hart. Like, I don't remember anything in between there. It went from Owen Hart falling to Stone Cold Undertaker, which was just boring at that point.
Right. And
but you can kind of tell like they were all out of it though.
Yeah. One thing is too is that I mean the reason why people kind of thought maybe it was just something funny because like you wouldn't put it above WWE to do
Oh, of course not.
something hilarious
Right.
where like,
Yeah.
this superhero guy like messed up his entrance
Yeah,
and like he
absolutely.
crashed.
Yeah.
Like that's funny because I mean at that time they were setting. I mean people were getting set on fire. Like
They blew
Undertaker,
up Vince
Undertaker
McMahon in
Mankind
his
had like a
limo.
buried alive match. Like they were burying guys alive.
Yeah,
like stuff like that. So you're just like, oh okay, like maybe it's just like
Didn't put it past them.
it's just funny or whatever.
You know, and other recollections and stuff as I was kind of doing some research on this for the show, you know, some people thought it was a dummy that had fallen, you know,
That's
and
exactly what I
again,
thought.
it was part of the show. You know, and the crazy thing to me, you know, that Marcus was saying before the show is they didn't announce anything over the loudspeaker to the live crowd that, you know, hey, that was an accident. We don't know what's going on. Like, they told you guys nothing.
I mean, and you got to remember too. I was thinking about this driving here, Steve. This is '99, all right. So we're probably 2 years from the cell phone age.
Yeah.
No, a year and a half from the big cell phone age. So nobody, and that's the reason to me it's crazy that there's no good pictures of this. Like no pictures have surfaced because we didn't have cameras
have
back
it.
then, you know,
Yeah.
and
had
no,
a cell phone, but it didn't have a camera on it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think the brick
Well,
cell phone just came out. Probably everybody
I
had
said,
those.
Mike, yeah,
I
I
remember
mean,
in
my
97.
They wouldn't let you bring like your flash photography.
Yeah.
In the,
Oh, that's right.
Arena because you couldn't take pictures of everything. So that's another.
That's
thing.
true. I didn't think about
I
that.
do
Right.
remember like as we were leaving, like you know, payphones were still around. And people had to call for rides. There was like a group of people right next to us as we were walking, and they were like, "Yeah, he died on the way to the hospital or something like that." Like, what? What are you talking about? Who is he? He's like, "Yeah, Owen Hart died." Like, nah, that can't be right, man. I mean, this is before like social media, and all that.
Yeah.
We found out, or at least I found out. I don't know if Marcus remembers this part of the story. There's like a group of people literally walking next to us, and I guess they had talked to someone that was watching. They said they found out from Channel 9 News. That's what.
Right, yeah.
That's the story they had it. So that's where they got their breaking news from. It's like, yeah, he died on his way to the hospital.
Who wants to be in here after
That's how I
dark
found
on
out.
the 23rd?
Yeah, not me.
The spirit still lives.
Yeah, so the television, you know, we're watching on TV. We got a big group, and you know they're showing the promo that you guys were talking about. You were watching, and then the next thing we see is just kind of a close up of JR, the announcer, see his face, and he's just saying like, "Hey, this is not part of the show. There's been a terrible accident. We're not sure the status." The King had left the announce table and got up, and went to get in the ring to try to help Owen when it first happened. And JR just keeps telling us at home like, "Hey, this is not part of the show. We don't know what's going on." And there was about a 15-minute gap, from what I gathered, from the time he fell to when the next match kind of gets going. But again, I just like, I can't imagine being in here and not. I mean, because like you said, it's not like you can jump on Twitter and see what's going on.
Well, and two, you remember the wrestlers knew what happened.
Yeah,
There's stories of them. Everybody knew it wasn't happening, and the big controversy was to keep the show going. Do we keep it going? Because that's why they didn't tell us. They didn't tell us that for a reason.
Like it's that nobody remembers anything from that show, but that after that happens, because imagine like your homeboy just potentially died in the ring, and you got to go out there and put on a happy face and talk some shit and all that. It's trash.
And there's still blood in the ring. If you look at picture, there's blood. His blood is still in the ring. And
some things I learned last night from the documentary is the Godfather was what they called the gorilla position, which is like where they stand right before they come out, and he's standing there, and he said somebody yells, "Owen fell," and he goes, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, he fell," and he's standing there and doesn't know what's going on, and all of a sudden here comes Owen Hart on a stretcher, coming right by him, and he said he looked at him and he was blue. So, I mean, and then that's when he's like, that's when, the word backstage started to get around that, Owen was. It's not good. Like they pretty much think he's dead at this point.
Yeah,
and he was taken to Truman Medical Center. One of the, I guess, most emotional things for me from the documentary that came out last night with his wife was his wife was saying when the doctor, because she said the first call she got was from Vince McMahon, and which is the owner of the company, and he says Owen has fell. There's been an accident, and she's like asking questions like any wife would, and he's like, I don't know, and she said, well, have somebody call me that knows something.
Yeah, I think he knew. I think he knew at that point, but he didn't want to.
Yeah,
he didn't want to tell her.
Wanted to break the news.
Yeah, he didn't want to tell her.
So then a doctor from Truman calls, and she said he's kind of beating around the bush, and she's like, just get to the end and tell me what happened. She said the doctor finally said, I'm sorry, I did everything I could to save your husband's life, but he's gone. He's dead. And, she's in Canada, and, her husband left for work, and she just found out he's never coming home.
Can't imagine.
Because of a stunt. I mean,
Wait, and real quick, what exactly was the injury? I mean, like, what was it? Was it like a broken neck? Was it what exactly happened?
I didn't see.
Yeah,
I just saw the cause of death was blunt force trauma.
They said he shattered
broken neck or something.
Yeah, he shattered his arm on impact. He didn't hit the turnbuckle. He hit the ropes at 40 miles an hour, they said, and that's why like a sack of potatoes just fell back. And they said that. I remember this when he did fall. We looked. He set up, kind of like when you're doing that last crunch.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember him falling, and then he tried to sit up, like after you're doing 20 crunches, then like one more, and then he's like, oh, I can't do it.
Yeah,
and his body would limp like that.
Yeah,
that's one thought I seen or whatever. I'd never forget that. I remember seeing that last gasp effort or whatever it was, or muscle spasm, or I don't know the science behind it, but it was like I never forget seeing that. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean it's about an hour later on the TV broadcast, and this was another crazy story from the documentary. So Jim Ross, who's doing the announcing, this is live on pay-per-view, all over the world. Gets the guy in his headset, tells him, hey, Owen Hart, we received word that Owen has died. You're back live on TV in 5, 4, and Jim has to tell the audience that this guy has died, and he's given basically 5 seconds to come up with something. And I mean, I can't imagine. I know all the prep I do, for this show, so that I can talk about whatever. I mean, Austin, can you imagine just like having 5 seconds to tell a worldwide audience that a guy just died in front of you?
No, I mean, no, and it's really crazy, and it's also just a kind of also a testament to how we talk about JR, how great he is, and then I mean it's another thing. He just he handled it like a pro, and really everybody involved kind of did. But no, I can't really fathom like having to actually do that. Like, all right, man, you got to say this, and you got to say it like right now, and you got to tell everybody right now what's going on. And then like guess what? Also, you have another match you got to call right after that. So you're going to announce right. So he announces that, and then he's going to be calling like Taker or Stone Cold, which should be a insane match because it's two of the hottest guys at the time. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's him saying that, and then he's got to call this match. Dude, like total pro, Jim Ross, which everybody knows he's the greatest.
It was definitely a double-edged sword because for the performers, like I said, the crowd didn't know. We didn't know that he died. So they got to go out there, put on a show, and if it sucked, now we're wondering why you guys sucked.
You said it did suck, right? Like it was kind of like.
Well, they weren't. I've done some research, and I just remember like the wrestlers didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
they did not want to do it, but they had no choice.
I mean, would you?
No, of course not.
No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, one of your friends just died because part of the attraction with wrestling is